CORSAIR DreamLeague Season 10 Grand Finals. Best of 5 and Game 1 behind us already. Thank you, Thomas. And so, I mean, Game 1 behind us, and it was a pretty one-sided one, you guys. That Meeple pick turned out to be splendid there for Tigers. I mean, it wasn't even close.
They just got outplayed. They could have had it. The Meepo wasn't the problem.
The Meepo was not the problem. Analyst, keeping it Kyle. What?
Kyle's prediction, boys. Coming right at you.
Meepo is just not a problem. You just gotta do better.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Navi's draft was garbage.
Whoa, they're
second
right over
pick,
there,
Dro. You know about that. Picking Dro and Enigma first two. You have the two pretty weak laners. You just get overrun.
It's true.
And you don't pick any hero with Dro. Like Storm doesn't really need to attack.
I thought you went in with Kyle. I thought you guys...
No. I wrote down this time just so that I can't get confused.
It was you and me, buddy.
It was you and him, indeed.
Yeah!
Gonna correct.
New age of analysts. Woo! Revolution!
Okay.
All right.
No, but talk to me. I mean, that Meepo pick was obviously definitely a good pick. Did it indeed seal the deal, Bulldog? Or was it the fact that Dro was so early picked?
I think just the overall draft from Navi was bad. I think they could have picked something else from Navi or Meepo as well, and they'd be fine. They just destroy all the lanes and just snowball them. And Meepo was the perfect pick for that, though.
It was similar to Alchemist for Navi in the game yesterday, where they have this awesome lineup that just needs this one like unifying hero everyone can play around. And now you've got Meepo or Pango and Weaver just playing the side lanes. You can never really take these heroes out. And a Meepo that can either be shoving waves or just connecting, hunting throughout the map. Everyone has CM aura. It was a really nice draft, and Tigers executed really well.
Drafting is a game of wits. You must outwit your opponent. You must present them with false flags and other things to trick them up. You pick a Drow Ranger in the open, there's no witty, there's no trickery. It's just, look what we're gonna do. You think you could stop us? Yes! It's the grand finals, of course we can stop it. Second pick Drow.
But then, according to Bulldog, the Drow lineup, there was no hero to go with the Drow, right, Bulldog?
Yeah. You have a Storm, which sure you can right-click a little bit, but you need a Mirana or Weaver or something that can benefit a lot from that Drow. Otherwise, you just have a Drow.
It's just a Drow.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Dro.
Drow?
Dro?
It depends on the regional dialect.
Well, he said Dro, and then he's like, it's all alone, now it's a Drow. I'm just wondering, is Drow?
Either can work.
Drow.
It's an Albany expression.
She says Dro Ranger.
Ooh.
That's what she says herself. We also have a drawing board, of course, and the replays. I mean, this game wasn't really super close, but we're gonna look at. Oh, excuse me.
We're like a drawing board.
Drawing board.
All right,
good one.
This is where they go all in on the Meepo. They want to just go all in, and we see this many times, just zipping in, and he's like, oh, shit, I'm getting ulted and everything here, and here comes the save here. Boom. He's rolling through, and Enigma's got BKB here. That's where he's screaming, oh, kill Enigma. No one's helping him.
I mean,
The Meepo drops.
yeah.
They commit everything. And now, every time we see this, they just run Navi down and kill him. Boom. Boom.
What?
If you kill the Meepo on the process of dying with your entire team, it's not a good trade.
Not at all. And one thing we didn't talk a lot about was the control that they had. Well, we talked about it in the draft, but we haven't talked about it so far. Just, I mean, look at everything that they're putting on there, and they can't even get the Pango. And the entire team, they have to commit an ult to kill freaking Pango. They don't even do it. He just walks away like they're fools. Like they're fools, I tell you.
Moon's Pangos are really good as well. He has some incredible control.
Yeah, and they keep picking it against Enigma.
You're sitting on your mic pack. Is why we're getting some distortion, Bulldog.
Is it working?
It is working.
It's the grand final.
So one thing that I really noticed during this game compared to all the other games we've seen yesterday and today is that the laning stage, that especially in series against RNG, laning stage doesn't seem to matter much because it goes late. But laning stage in this specific game 1 was actually very bad for Na'Vi. Like, I have not seen them lose a laning stage that bad the entire tournament.
Whatever. You know, win some, you lose some. We've seen Na'Vi do so well this tournament. Yeah, they're going to lose some laning phases.
Well,
But Tigers has been especially trained to end in the early game and dominate the lanes after their RNG boot camp in this tournament. Those kids know how to make sure it don't go to late game. So Na'Vi, you gotta just pick a different draft. That was a game 1. It's a best of 5. Just don't pick Drow Ranger second pick. You'll be fine.
All right.
IMO.
Well, let's see what Twitch had decided who was the MVP by Hacks. It is...
Hi-oh.
I mean, he played a perfect Meepo.
And finally, there's no meme players here. There's no Envy or Dandy, so we're actually going to get a proper MVP vote.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Or you also someone who's playing the worst sometimes get it, but
that was tough. The game was too fast for anyone to stand out as an exceptionally bad player.
Yep. And it definitely was the right amount of time for someone to stand out as an exceptionally good player in the case of Ajit's Meepo. So moving forward to game 2 of this best of 5, Kyle, what do Na'Vi need to do to force out a game 4?
Well,
I know there's going to be 3 games regardless.
What they got to do is to make sure that they beat the Meepo next time.
There ain't gonna ever be a Meepo.
There's going to be another Meepo.
There's not going to be another
Meepo.
Meepo.
Look, trust me. I know Meepo.
okay.
I've beaten a Meepo. I've lost to a Meepo. And I lost to a Meepo a few more times. There's a lot of those pesky little buggers. But what you got to do is not take the Drow.
Okay.
I think Axe was unbanned, if I'm not mistaken, in the opener. They could have just opened Enigma Axe, had to support Axe. Am I getting correct?
Axe was indeed unbanned in the opener.
Yeah, they banned it second phase.
Second phase banned by Na'Vi themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I would much rather see them just stay a little more open, because when you pick Enigma and Drow, you kind of give away that this Enigma is going to be a core, and it's a lot to reveal in the opener. I think you just got to stay calm. Don't be shook. You could be a bit shook right now. You just got, what's the word, Bulldog? How would you put it? What just happened to Na'Vi?
Flax, what would you say?
Frazzled.
Frazzled?
Basiled.
They got wing dingled. Dinglinged.
What's that mean?
Well, what does that mean?
You know what a wang dangle dingling is?
No, I don't. Could you please explain it for the viewers at home that don't
tell
have
you when you grow up,
verbosity? Huh?
Ding-a-ling.
All right, you guys, it is
know what
time.
dong is.
Drafting time for game 2. Let's see the changes that the teams are going to make. Axe is still unbanned here in the first phase, and looking at game 1 compared to this, it is identical in the bans.
Get those heroes out of here. I love it.
I don't know about this Na'Vi bounce again.
They don't like those
More
heroes.
terror peel?
Navi's first pick again, too. Do you first pick the Enigma?
Yep.
Do you try something different?
Yeah, you just don't pick the Drow.
That's it. Enigma Undying. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
No, definitely. Not into Weaver. That's a problem.
They're not going to pick a Weaver again.
They're going to pick a Weaver again.
What if Tigers does the folly, as I like to call it, and go for Io Gyro?
That's true.
That's not possible because I was
No,
banned.
I did see
Sweet Mesquite.
Weaver.
Phoenix.
I think you just Weaver +1 again here.
These low-down varmints.
1437 is just smart for this. You know, he likes to spice it up, pick some different. But Weaver is good against Phoenix. That is very true.
Oh,
I think it's just really valuable for Tigers since they can play it on 4 different players. They're all competent.
Who
on the
can't
Weaver.
play it?
I would say you just 1437. Probably could, but he wouldn't want to because it's a 5.
Yeah. He's not good enough. That's what you're saying?
I wouldn't be that aggressive, but he's got better options on his teammate.
True. And you're right. With the Bloodlust, again, which is
oh.
good.
Hey, and not
They
go
made a
for the axe.
fatal error.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever the enemy side picks a Weaver and Axe is in the pool, I think you can just pick Axe. It's probably the just hardest counter. It's super easy. You can easily taunt on top of a Sakuchi.
Yeah.
And because then it'll be on cooldown, you have that extra few seconds of Weaver being unable to escape. Very low HP hero. Battle Hunger in the laning phase is effective.
Yee.
The spins do a ton of pure damage.
Yee.
Good thing about Axe as well is he kind of got a black hole, but it's on a 12, 14 second cooldown. you know?
Indeed.
So
Do you
it's-
not know how long the cooldown is?
No, I don't remember. I think it's 14. I'm guessing 14.
It's actually 12.
12. Gee.
How much is it with an Octarine core?
Oh,
Ooh. Okay, Faceless Void and Enigma banned out. Ooh. Faceless Void, man? We've seen that hero a few times.
Yeah, mostly on in the hands of Navi's Crystallize.
Indeed. So, makes sense.
Good against Weaver. But Weaver is also good against Void because you get the axe and counter him.
What's good against you, Bulldog? What counters you on a panel?
I can't be countered.
Uncounterable?
Everything has counters.
No. Just talking, I guess. I'm bad at talking, I think.
You
What
could-
the hell? What's wrong with you idiots? This is the grand finals. Y'all
It's
got
Kyle. It's Kyle up top.
I'm just saying, there's got to be a term for it. This second phase ban portion, what do we do? We've already had Slack's input, you know, he eye spied us,
Yeah.
the two bans, but like now what?
Well, you can think about what the bans mean in
that's the only
relation to what
important
they're
part.
going to pick. You can talk more about the plan that the teams might have with the heroes that they have selected so far. And last but not my favorite, you can predict what they're going to pick
It
next.
is easier to talk about when they pick the hero because then you can sound smart.
Exactly.
That's what I think about.
They all Lina, like just like we thought. A Yul's hero, very good against the Phoenix because of the attack speed steroid.
And good against Axe because you remove his jump in so he can't spin. And it's obviously really good against the Egg.
There you go.
An excellent pick. And we see
Hey-oh.
stealing that hero from Magical, who's been destroying on that hero as well. Very smart.
Very intuitive analysis as well. Great job.
Now predict the next pick, Slacks.
What?
Go for it.
What? Okay, hold on.
Zeus,
Okay,
the
hold.
Nimba.
Okay, hold on. Let me think this out here.
They could already
Oh.
go for mid.
Okay, hold on. They're
right.
not gonna go for the mid yet.
Okay.
Is it carry time, guys? Give me a little bit of help here.
I think it's going to be a Chavash hero.
Is it Willow?
No, Willow's. They're only for Gyro. They don't pick Willow against these madmen.
I figured you kind of want a bit of disable. I guess Tiny offers that.
That was easy. Crap.
That was really easy.
Crap.
That's pretty easy, honestly, because it counters Weaver. You first like hero. Will warm up. Lina doesn't have that much health either, so it's a very obvious pick.
Very obvious.
It's
I
okay,
think
Jake. You
Lina-
got it next time.
There's going to be a Lina 4 position, I'm pretty sure. They did this in the previous game. They do Ogre offlane sometimes with Tigers. They do this Ogre Lina dual offlane strat that I really like. And then they Undying in the safe lane with Weaver. This is the 1437 special. He's been a master of this hero for years, much like his career as well. He's been Undying. I mean, this guy's been around for years.
Yeah.
Months even.
And successful as well.
What?
Coach of many successful teams.
Successful in what way, Shiver?
He's been coaching successful
He
teams.
coached Secret to win the Shanghai Major.
Yes, he did.
And then he got kicked.
No, that
No.
was actually Weeha and Misery that got kicked.
Yeah, I think he stayed until after TI.
He did.
And he always mentioned that his, because he was a highly sought after coach.
Yep.
He always mentioned that his coaching career definitely improved his playing. I can only imagine. I mean, it teaches you a lot about drafts and just basically the helicopter view that you need as a captain.
Can we talk about Storm Spirit? That didn't work out last time, and I don't see how it works out this time.
It's pretty rough too, because if these were support Ogre, it'd be different, but
Kitties!
whoa.
Go ahead.
Support Ogre Coral Ogre and support Lina can hunt Storm very well. And the build that what's his name? The 4 position for Tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, Zephyr?
Zephyr, yeah. Sorry, I had Aj in my head and he's the mid player. But anyway, he goes,
You're
what?
confused with Afu.
This guy.
Aether Lens and Yules is just really good in this kind of game. You get the cast range talent and you're just stunning Storm from miles away.
True. And what I don't like about Navi's lineup is
No
you
damage?
need to deal with Undying
You do.
Tombstone. Every time I see this, a position 5 just wins. How can you have a position 5 that carries you when it's 15? Who's gonna kill Tombstone? All these heroes are mediocre.
It's true.
I think that Storm is like, well, he can step
know what
away
you
from
need?
the zombies, but he's gonna get run down by them.
You know what you need? You need a sniper. Because you need something that will actually shoot Undying in the head, which is the only way to take out a zombie, as we all know.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I thought you were doing real analysis.
I am. Sniper Storm is nice. I don't think carry Sniper is very good, though. So, the Meepo
Meepo ban?
ban. That's a
Respect.
terrible decision. I would never ban Meepo here.
Gee whiz.
And look where that got you.
Exactly.
Okay, take it easy.
All right, we got a Meepo ban. We also got a Klinks ban. We've seen Navi play Klinks quite a bit, and it would also have that speed to get rid of the Tombstone if you'd really want to use that on that.
You need a safe laner here. You know you're going to be going up against Ogre Lina. I don't know if you want something like a Life Stealer here, but when you have a Storm for delivery, it's possible. I think they might want something with a bit more wave clear. A Troll, perhaps?
Juggernaut.
Troll's very good against Weaver, and it gives you the ultimate to deal with the Tombstone. Might want
like
a bit more
that.
team fight. Void's banned, Link's banned, a lot of the Na'Vi specials.
Gyro. Without an IO.
Does deal with his tombstones at least.
Yes, he does.
Gives him team fight too, but it might have a really rough laning phase.
Yeah.
It's a 49 base damage hero up against an Ogre Lina that are gonna smack him in the mouth.
This is the first Gyrocopter we're seeing that does not have the support of an IO this tournament.
There's a reason he needs that IO.
Yep.
And they give last pick to Ajit. Does he Invoker here? Against the Storm? You want to stun.
How securely do you go? Like,
They
can you
might
just
have
go for
been,
Death Prophet? Not Death Prophet, lol, DK.
They could have been baiting us, so they see the mid hero now, so they can pick Lina mid if they want still.
They
against
could also
Storm.
still do that, yeah.
It's true. Very good point. I think you have more value last picking your mid here, but I'm not really finding that perfect pick. Look at Alchemist, though. It's a pretty nice Alchemist game.
Why? Ooh, they could Huskar too.
Man, they are just cheesing it up. I don't know if Na'Vi wants to play first pick anymore against these guys.
And
They banned Huskar last game, they get meepo'd. Right? Or was that
Yeah,
the
they did.
previous series?
No, that was this previous series.
Previous series. I was just testing
No,
you. Chief.
Huskar was banned, but it was banned against by Tigers themselves in second phase.
Okay. So there you go. They get cheesed again. They hit him with the Gorgonzola last game. This time a bit of a brie. And I don't know if you can deal with the Huskar, boys.
And it should be an easy predict for you. 3 losses in a row now, so I'm sure you're gonna get this one right.
I'm
Pretty
going to
obvious.
go with Tigers because I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. I've never done that before.
Kepa.
Yeah, the Husker is really good against Storm in the lane, and I don't remember the other picks, so I'm just gonna say Tigers.
Gyro's actually really good against Weaver and against Undying. And I know we usually pair him up with an IO. You guys are right, though. They're all too squishy. Huskar's going to eat them. All right. I'm down for Tigers, too.
Fever, you're not allowed to do the same. As
I am allowed to do the
No
same.
cheating,
No, you're
Sheeber.
I'm going for
No
Tigers
copying.
as well.
No.
Boo!
She's
Game
closer to
2.
Na'Vi.
She's closer to Navi.
It's true.
Over to your commentary
No,
team
no,
of
no,
Odie
no.
Pixel and Fox.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to the grand finals of the CORSAIR DreamLeague Season 10 minor. I'm Odie Pixel, I'm here with Fogged, and we're about to get into Game 2 of Na'Vi versus Tigers. As Tigers up a game, and coming into the second game, they're getting themselves another one of those very tasty fifth picks. It's a Huskar, and it's a pretty good game for it, Giannis.
It's a great game for the Huskar, and he's got backup too. He's got an Undying who can give him some heals. He's got Bloodlust. They've got strong lanes again on Tigers. Na'Vi, they've got good team fight. That's the one thing they can come in again with the Phoenix, the Axe. But they've got a Gyrocopter. I don't think I've actually seen much, if any, Gyrocopter without the IO, actually, at all. I think there was maybe one. There might be one that we saw recently, and it was not...
I want to say there was one maybe in the TI group stages. I feel like that it's got, I'm
right.
reaching sort of that far back until I'm finding a game where we just sort of just a gyro on its own.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a reason why people don't like to do it. This hero has been nerfed significantly time and time again. One of the magic ways you can sort of bring back that former glory of a gyrocopter. But without that IO by his side, it is not going to be an easy game for Crystallize. And you know, down the line, when that Huskar starts walking around the map and coming down the lane of the gyro, there's not a lot that the gyro can really offer against a Huskar.
Nope.
It's pretty much all magical until very later points of the game.
If the axe can actually have a decent time
It's
and he can get to the
axe
point,
spins.
if he can get the blink and the blade mail, if he can, which is going to be very difficult because he's versus one of the harder counters in the lane, the Undying, he's just going to keep getting his strength decay down. And Weaver, you have high physical damage and you have the bugs, which Axe doesn't really enjoy much at all in the laning phase. He gets kind of owned by it. So I think the big thing to look at for Na'Vis is really the Axe the Phoenix team fight and the tiny rotations on Chuvash. I think the other ones are going to be really difficult for them. I think Gyro and Storm Spirit are going to have real tough games.
Well, here we go. Let's get ourselves into the action. Game 2, a Tigers versus Na'Vi. Best of 5, of course, in the grand final.
And it's a core Ogre, like they were saying. It's core Ogre and support Lina. We've seen Tigers do this time and time again.
Then they absolutely crush lanes with it.
Yeah, and especially versus Gyro, whose damage is very low, what, like 40-something, 40, very low 40s base damage versus 61 on Ogre, who also has this incredible thing called 8 armor and huge health and incredible HP regen, so you can soak those barrages up very easy. So we'll see if Na'Vi can actually pull this one. They're bringing 3 to secure these bounty runes. Moonmeander's just going to walk in. He didn't get it.
He didn't get it.
Takes a decent amount of damage here, but he's an Ogre.
On the rocket barrage, but as you're
they've got
with the wrap
Chew.
around from Chew. That'll do it. All right, that's a way to sort of help the Gyro have a bit of a better time than the Gyro should in the lane. Give him first blood.
But Lina got pushed. I thought Lina was coming in to give a hand, but Lina got pushed away, I guess, by the tiny rotation, because Zephyr had stun, must have used it to try to secure the rune, or to secure the rune, and then couldn't get close to Moonmeander. All right, good way to start off for this Gyro. Still should be a pretty tough lane, unless they keep 3 heroes consistently down there, which they're not. Phoenix is going to go top. And Blizzy, we already see what 1437's been able to do in this Undying throughout this entire tournament. Just spam those decays, hit level 2, probably get a kill immediately as soon as he gets Soul Rip. I've seen him do it actually like 4 or 5 times in this tournament when he just hits 2, gets that huge nuke that comes out. This mid lane, Magical doing great for the first wave in particular, but it will get worse and worse.
No, it's not going to get any easier.
Yeah, and you see 1437 taunting.
Trying to get the creeps re-aggros, but they are going to stay on Blizzy for now. Blizzy able to salve it back to full.
He's lost a lot of strength already, though. In mid lane, we see the Storm Spirit dropping low. 1437 with a very nice deny there. And he will get the creeps pulled onto the camp, too. 1437 playing this perfectly.
Yeah, destroying sort of any attempt from Blizzy to make that lane a little more manageable. That's mid lane. Magical.
Oh,
Magical.
One more.
All right. Not first blood, but a kill in that 1 versus 1 in the middle for Magical. He just kills the Huskar. That shouldn't happen, but it did.
He just got out-clicked.
Yeah.
Too many right clicks built up. Ajit playing a little too over-aggressive. Gets punished.
Bottom lane, though, we're seeing Crystallize getting severely bullied out of this bottom lane. He does have the salve to get him back up.
Yeah, it's nice that Magical gets a kill, but the lane is still the same problem. It's still incredibly difficult for Storm Spirit to really get much out of that. He had to expend so much mana to actually get that kill too. Constantly using those remnants to get that overload procs. And I see that I think Gyro went for missile, and I think I saw them kill it once or twice already now too with that Lina plus Ogre.
There's top lane as well. We'll see where sort of Blizzy does decide to put himself as trying for those creep cuts have not proved to be successful. Does get the call onto 1437. A couple of spins could set them up for a kill as he tries to chase down the Undying already, though. He's lost Seneko. 1437 heals himself back up with the Soul Rip. There's a lot of creeps hitting into Blizzy, but Blizzy, he's losing strength. He's getting body blocked perfectly by 1437 as Blizzy, he'll get another call off to give him an extra bit of armor. Try for 1437. He does get him as he spins to his death. They take the trade. Blizzy falls, but he gets the kill on 1437. So at least something there for Na'Vi before the axe dies.
Magical's getting completely pushed out of lane, though. Like we said, he got the kill. He secured himself even a regen rune, actually, at the 2-minute mark, which is going to be really nice for him to jungle. But we see Ajit controlling the lane positioning. 14 and 10. See Ogre, we already talked about Gyrocopter's low base damage. Even though he gets the kill at the start, he's got 9 last hits to 15 and 7 of Ogre. This is like the best rune that Magical could have gotten, though. He's going to be able to clear out a good amount of camps and at least keep relatively close in that net worth, but Huskar is going to out-level him quite hard.
Bottom, Crystallize.
Was it a toss-back?
They get the kill onto Zephyr. So Na'Vi, they are finding kills on these side lanes. Up top, Seneko on top of In Your Dream. He's trying to hide away in the trees. He's ticking down low. Seneko goes for the TP out. Will get away before In Your Dream's able to turn and get the right clicks in. Does still have the branch of 3 tangos. He's going to get some more regen sent out to him as well on the Weaver. A salve and Mango coming his way.
Trying it again.
See?
Ooh, doesn't get the toss back this time.
Na'Vi they're holding on in sort of these opening waves of the laning stages. The mid lane, certainly where we can expect to see the Huskar become this ever-growing power that it'll look to be in a game where they get him for his 5th pick, because he is getting uninterrupted farm.
And look at poor Blizzy. Like, this is the Axe that usually ends up dominating pretty hard. He can't do what he wants to. He can't cut the creep waves. They're trying to get these trade kills onto the Undying over and over again.
Oh, they may just get him. Nice soul rips there. It's now their turn. Look towards Seneko. Seneko in trouble, will fall. He's trying to chase Blizzy, looking for 1437, but 1437 taunts his way out of there. Blizzy pops the stick charge, but just slowly being right-clicked down by In Your Dream. He's on top of them with the Shikuchi. Same time down bottom. Toss back into the setup. They'll get Moon. Chu will tick out to the Ignite, but Crystallize. Can he get more out of this? He's got stick charges, but will not be able to follow Zether with another Rocket Barrage. But 5 for 5. Tiger's still leading the way with 1,000 net worth. So nothing as sort of uncontrollable as game 1.
Not yet.
It's not as bad.
Not as
game
bad.
1 was pretty bad.
That's very true.
This isn't as bad. It's still not great for Na'Vi.
Yeah, it's still very, very costly. They don't get any of the bounty runes. I believe Tigers claimed all 4 of them. And the 2,000, it's like a 2,000 gold lead. The experience is probably pretty high up there too, though. And that's very early in the game to have that much of an experience lead. With your Huskar getting a full free lane, the Axe just getting bullied as well. One nice thing is that Weaver's last hits are getting slowed down a bit, but he's getting kills time and time again.
Ooh, Seneko again. Able to TP out just in time as he gets gone upon.
Oh, we see Magical. We saw him he was farming the small camp earlier. Now he's still only level 5, just trying to get anything he can because he just has to jungle. And the rune actually spawns top. Unfortunate for the Storm Spirit as well. So he wanted to be able to fill up his bottle.
This armlet timing for Arjit is going to be very fast indeed. He's got all these sort of early strength items, so
yeah,
no sort of threat of being bullied out of the lane by any rotation from Na'Vi at this stage.
And it's similar movements from 1437 again in this game. They're feeling confident. They're getting these aggressive wards down to watch any type of rotations. 3 deep wards. They know Storm's going to be jungling for the most part, so he just wants to be able to keep tabs of this. Magical actually goes top and gets the haste rune. That was left there for the whole 45 seconds. That's nice for him. Bottom. Moon.
Moon.
Ooh, they killed the missile this time.
They do just in time. That will keep Moon alive.
Zephyr will be okay.
Oh, he's going to try and turn. They get the light strike. They're looking for the kill onto Chu. Won't quite get it. Another toss. Zephyr still got the sail ticking as he's chasing down Crystallize. Getting on top of him, but the Rocket Barrage and the Avalanche, that's going to get Zephyr straight up killed. Totally overestimating his potential to burst down Crystallize, as there's more than enough time for Chu to come back in on top of the Lina and set up for another kill for Na'Vi on this bottom lane. Top lane, Blizzy. He'll kill off the Tombstone, get himself a bit of extra gold, but it will cost him his life. There's more kills going the way at the Weaver, 3-0-2 in this top lane for Tigers.
I think the big win for Na'Vi right now is how well this bottom lane is doing. Honestly, Chuvash as well as Crystallize are having a pretty damn good time. Already level 5 on this Tiny, level 5 on Crystallize, and Tigers, they're overstepping their bounds a little bit too much, particularly on that Lina, like you mentioned. He walked into melee range versus a gyrocopter. Gotta watch themselves. But once they get their level 6s, once they get their levels built up, they have so much high burst damage that Crystallize has to be careful. I think the drum might be a suitable item, or maybe just a casual bracer. He needs some type of raw HP on this gyro so he doesn't just get multied into Laguna or something along those lines. Zephyr?
Magical. Quick dodge of the light strike array. Still, as the time ticks on, Huskar is going to become more and more of an issue, still unanswered. They're not looking to do anything about him, of course, at the moment. And the question is, when can you start to sort of see a time of this game where they can actually tackle the Huskar? Like, is it when you get to the blink on the Axe? Like, at what point do you actually say, right, let's try and do something about the Huskar situation?
They have to hope he overcommits, to be honest. Oh, did he take the Centaur? I think he may have.
He got at least one of them, yeah.
Oh, man.
Bottom.
Moon again.
Again, Crystallize. And Chu.
This bottom lane is owning on Na'Vi.
Crystallize, he's got 4 kills already on a safe lane gyrocopter. It's 8 minutes in and it's 2018. It's top lane, Blizzy. Charge for the call onto In Your Dream, but the Wonder Kid's already out.
It's really important for Na'Vi to be getting these kills on the gyrocopter too, because the gyro and the Axe, they're their big physical damage to actually deal with the Huskar. So it looks like he is going to go for that drums build. I like that. I think drums and even like a raindrop, casual raindrop could be things that save him in case they just display this high magic damage, which they will be able to do down bottom.
Because they've got good sort of ways to mess with the Huskar whilst he's slowly killing them. You know, they have the Avalanche, the Call, the Vortex, the Homing Missile, the Fire Spirit, Supernova. You know, fair few ways that they can make it hard for Arjit to sort of fully commit without being worried about being just sort of shaken up and held back.
Definitely.
But it's not going to be easy for Na'Vi.
No, especially not when he's got buddies around him. When he's got the Undying and the Ogre standing in the front line, it's tanking the brunt of the force. It'll make the Huskar's life a bit easier, and he's, I mean, super farmed. The Weaver as well, having a great time, but it's really Crystallized and Shuvash, which are the standouts for me right now for Na'Vi in this laning phase. Even though it's a 3k gold advantage for Tigers, this bottom lane's doing much better than I'd expected.
Well, another time looking towards Moon. Light Strike does come down, though, onto Magical. Magical still with a bit of health left, ready to play. Zips forward. They get the kill onto Moon once again. As Moon dying over and over again on this bottom lane.
Yeah. Look at Gyro's almost got the same net worth as Weaver. Magical's getting caught up too because he's able to control almost, I think he's gotten like almost every single rune too on this Storm Spirit while he's moving around the map constantly. Now with an Arcane rune, he's going to look to threaten bottom again.
And for someone that's had to lane against the Huskar, he's certainly done the best alternative. Heading out of the lane, farming him up as quickly as he could in the jungle. Now looking to make the plays across the map. Can't commit to the dive for 1437's life. His backup's there. Moon and Wonder Kid into the lane, chasing down Chu. The Fire Blast is there for the setup as well as the bugs, taking down his armor. The Tigers will come in with the reaction. Get another kill for the Weaver. Magical is starting to wrap around behind on the mid lane, but not really anything that he should jump on here, as he will just zip straight past the Huskar. Get a couple of waves, or a couple of creeps at least from the wave on the middle lane before moving up.
This gives him so much space though. Like Tiger's rotating out of top lane. Now Blizzy has 1300 gold. He might not go for the hood first. He might just try to rush that blink because of how much space he's been given to farm now. Very important for them to get this blink timing. If they can get it, if they get on top of the Huskar, they can close. They have a lot of ways to control him, like you mentioned. Magical, very low on mana here. Might just have a TP. Yeah.
Is he actually okay though? He's absolutely not. I mean, this is a Huskar that just got an arm there. He's going to hit you too. So darn hard.
Oh no.
Oh, and the aggressive tip as well. I like it.
He didn't. Magical did not do the math there. As they sandwich now on the mid lane, place more aggressive wards down. And with that rotation, that's the one thing the Tigers did. They may have rotated out of top with the Weaver, which gives space to the Axe, but at least they claim that bottom tower.
More money for Arjit's Huskar. Yep. Carrying the game in game one as the Meepo and looking to do exactly the same this game two on Huskar.
And they're just so adamant about keeping the pressure on. That's what I've been seeing about Tigers. Like a lot of teams at this tournament, we saw like RNG, like a couple of teams, like they just want to take it to the later stage of the game. But Tigers, they're very much so just about the pressure. Suffocate your enemy team as much as possible, get deep wards down, and just keep showing yourself in the lanes. Keep passing the river, keep applying that pressure. As top, the Lina.
Oh, at the same time down bottom, they try to go for Chu, but Chu's out of there. And indeed up top, Zephyr. Oh, nice dodge with the Icarus dive. Seneko gets the kill. He does have a TP. He can get out of there. There's no one around at the moment. He's not too away. He's got to go for the TP, though, and indeed it will take him back to base to safety. Down in the river, 1437 being chased down by Magical. He's got enough mana left to keep going for this one. The Tombstone will be dropped, but Magical gets the kill. He's not messing around. Quick zip and a TP away. Na'Vi leading in kills this game at the 13-minute mark, 10-8. Overall net worth still favoring Tigers with that 3k advantage. And, of course, Huskar still in the dream position.
Top lane, I think the Lina almost killed the Gyrocopter, right? I saw Crystallized drop to like 10 HP or something. Zephyr used the Laguna on him. But they commit forward. They're able to at least get themselves that one kill up top, as well as in the river bottom on the two supports. And they get some aggressive wards down, while Seneko's making his way up there. Small little gains. Much needed, though, as now they do have Blizzy's Blink Dagger, so making these moves is going to be a lot easier for them.
I think, you know, even if the Axe dies, if you can just sort of have that disabled time to allow Na'Vi to get kills in return, especially if they can get him onto the big heroes like the Huskar, it's going to be worth it.
Yep.
Just having that catch.
They might just make their way into the Roche Pit now, but Na'Vi, they throw the scan out immediately.
Okay, they've got good heroes to sort of disrupt this, as we say with the Blink on the Axe. They have the Storm.
They have great ways to kill the Roche, though, on Tigers.
They don't have Supernova. And indeed, Roche is just getting completely shredded by this lineup of Tigers. There's going to be no time for Na'Vi to have a look in. That's a Huskar at the top of the net worth by quite some few thousands of gold. Now holding on to an Aegis as well at 14 minutes in.
So much damage coming through. They have Bloodlust, they have Huskar, they have the Bugs, and they have Flesh Golem. So that Roche dies way faster than Na'Vi can try to contest, especially without Phoenix Egg, like you said. And they had all their lanes were kind of pushing in onto their side too. So if they did try to make that rotation, Tigers might just set up for a fight. And they are very ready to fight with this Huskar at the top.
Let's see if there's going to be anything that Na'Vi can do to push this back at all at the moment, trying their best to farm up elsewhere on the map. Magical going to look for the creep cut in the mid lane. You've got down bottom, Tiny looking to pick up some farm at the same time up top. Blizzy's trying to do the same.
They glyph. They don't want him to cut the creep wave there. Just trying to slow them down at all. Crystallize, spotted by 1437. He is intimidated by this Undying because he knows he's not going to be alone this time around.
They can secure the space around the top 2 runes. They'll grab those, down bottom as well. Tigers, again, 4 bounty runes. The Tigers, despite Na'Vi getting themselves out of the map, not in position to contest any of those runes. Mid lane, Magical, continuing to cut the wave. 1437 is going to come along with Moon, but again, good awareness from Magical. Straight out with the TP.
Similar to the last game, right? Na'Vi's just trying to delay, try to get themselves that farm up that they desperately need. Just push out those side lanes. We see Tiny's position bottom, Gyrocopter's top, Storm Spirit's mid.
Yeah.
They're not really looking to take these fights, especially not versus an Aegis. They're just trying to keep these lanes forced out, get themselves some farm so that they can even try to take the fights later on. Because right now, they just need more time.
And I get this is the good thing sort of about the Storm this game. Magical can do this. Sort of the biggest threats are being set up upon by a Fire Blast or a Light Strike Array. But he's keeping it safe, mid lane. Oh, the Axe tries to jump in, but Blizzy gets the call off a little too late. They do kill the Aegis, but the timing, he is going to get hit by the Supernova stun, but he's at full health. Not a lot that they could do about that. Arjit's going to continue to stand his ground.
They're going to go bottom now on Tigers. The line's already been drawn by 1437. They don't want to try to commit for high ground. We say it a lot. First Aegis, map control. Second Roche, Aegis cheese is when you try to actually set up to break that high ground and end the game.
Went for quite a big zip out here. He's utilized half of the mana pool.
And they know he's here. They saw him coming out even with that ward they have placed behind the tower.
Na'Vi, they have to be careful. Any sort of misplay could be deadly. But, I mean, that play down the middle lane, it ends up all right, right? Sure, you lose Blizzy, but you do take that Aegis away, so they can't push for high ground, at least with the Aegis at this point. You take that, don't you? Throwing away your Axe's life to get rid of the Aegis?
I think it's just to get some more farm. I think to get rid of the Aegis is fine, but they don't really want to go high ground on Tigers yet with Aegis. It's a little bit early for them, even with this Huskar and with this lead. And that's their blink reveal. That's the one scary thing. Is like now they know 100% Blizzy has that blink dagger finished. But they've got to try to slow down. They've tried to slow down the pace of Tigers so they can get this farm up, at least get the BKB finished on the gyro. I believe Chu already has blink now on Tiny too, so they've got double initiation now on their side. They've got the Axe, the Tiny, so they can at least jump to try to slow down this Huskar, but there's a lot of protection, and there's other things you do have to be wary of. Sure, it's a Huskar who's super farmed, but this Weaver is no joke either. He's got Dragonlance, he's getting close to that Diffusal Blade too. So you can't, you know, when you start thinking so much about it, they get the call.
They do Blizzy. He's in. The control's there with the follow-up Chu Avalanche.
So they're addressing. At least they're able to find this Weaver. Like I was saying, when it's just a Huskar, it's scary. But when there's a Huskar and a Weaver, you have to be sure you focus your attention on both. And they buy more time for Crystallize to farm. How close? Do we have the Halberd now finished, I'm assuming, on the Huskar? Definitely a Halberd game. Oh, he's actually going to be going for the Lance. Okay, the Pike build.
Radiant's top tower is under
Or did he already finish the Halberd? No, he didn't. Okay.
Just getting those treads done.
Yeah, Halberd usually one of the better choices, or one of the really good choices versus those Gyrocopters or any of those ranged heroes, and it's like probably top two Huskar item in general. Not quite able to close the gap onto Crystallize. Magical still on recovery mode. 3-1 and 0 after that really rough lane. Had some nice rotations.
I mean, yeah, for a Storm that's had to start the game against a Huskar, it's not a terrible position for Magical to be in. He's keeping himself up there on par.
And they found themselves space. We see the gold lead. It's starting to shift a tiny little bit. And now, while they know that Tigers is starting to split up, they want to look for some plays with these double blink daggers. Only 2 heroes here on the side of Tigers. They do have the Ogre kind of rotating over.
They're going to try. They get the jump. It's straight away. Choose on top of them, ready with the follow-up disabled. Do they have the damage to bring him down? Magical in with the Vortex to drag him back. Archit's still alive. A tree cut through. They get the kill. They kill the Huskar and the Tombstone. Maybe see if they can chase for more. Wonder Kid does hit the backup coming in. Tigers, they're bringing in Moon and Zephyr ready to turn this fight around as they found the Phoenix. And Crystallize gets the cooldown. He's able to flak as well. A lot of damage flying out from the Gyrocopter. 1437 still alive with the Soul Repeal coming in through onto himself. They get a double kill for the Weaver, but Na'Vi, they're striking back. They've found 3, and they're not done. Magical. He's in with the control. Vortex onto the Weaver. Na'Vi take 4 kills from Tigers. As Moon, he'll hide, hope to survive in the pit, but they'll find him as well. Triple kill for Crystallize. Na'Vi very much with a chance this game.
Beautiful move. They identify that there's only 2 heroes there. They do this double jump. I see the Axe jumps forward to get the Huskar, and Chuvash, he makes so much space on the side, controlling 3 heroes' time for such a long duration that Crystallize, he's just sitting there, popping his flak, getting all the damage out. That was a really well-executed fight by Na'Vi, even without having the Phoenix, having Supernova be able to start that fight.
They can kill the Huskar.
They absolutely can if he's isolated.
Diffusal Blade now picked up though by Weaver. Tigers still continuing to rack up the items. Once Arjit does have the halberd, it's going to be, you know, those sort of situations even more unlikely to happen. One sort of missed right click and suddenly that Huskar's turning around and taking you down with him.
Yeah. But we see the effect of what happened in that bottom lane, right? We see that Moon, he's 1 in 5. He's behind the Tiny in net worth as this core Ogre. And this Gyrocopter is super enabled. He's got the drums, he's got the phase, he's now got BKB finished, and he's level 13. Chooses to go for that damage talent as well. He knows HP is not what he needs in this game.
You're gonna
damage.
Yeah, if they're on top of you, you're gonna die. You're just gonna make sure that your positioning is absolutely perfect, and you can get the right clicks out.
And they've got the Blade Mail now too on the Axe. So the damage that can come through from that, extremely threatening for a Huskar.
I think still sort of the problem for Tigers is their sort of catch, it is the Lina and the Ogre. They've got to sort of run in with these 2 heroes. Other than that, Na'Vi have the ability to run away, get back up in. As we're seeing a game where, sure, you know, Arjit, he had a free lane, he's been in the top of the game, but they're against a Huskar, and the Storm and Gyro are still having pretty good games.
That's very true. That's a good point, actually. The catch is pretty limited on Tigers. They now at least have the Yules on the Lina, so they have the counter, like the Blade Mail on the Axe, and they have like actual ways to catch heroes. Tigers, they force the issue a little bit here. Stormster, we see Magical. He's not really near the fight. He's starting to port his way down in. The Tombstone.
He should be able to farm it up.
So Nick,
he went straight into. He's going to get the Supernova off, though. Can they kill the egg in time? They're trying. Moves punching in. They do get the egg. They take it down, but Gyro and Crystallize moving in with the BKB. Arjit tries to jump in, but he loses his life immediately. They've lost the Huskar. They'll lose the Ogre as well, and Na'Vi aren't done. Zephyr will turn for the TP. Does he manage to get out in time? He does not. Blizzy in with the dunk down, and on the side, they found the stun. The missile connects. They're on top of In Your Dream, but he gets the Shikuchi out as the avalanche ends. Hiding in the trees. They're hunting. Will they see him? He's going to go for the TP out. Is there any sort of AoE stun to catch him? There is not, so In Your Dream will escape. But Na'Vi, once again in these fights, they are managing to kill the Huskar at the start of it.
And even if the egg, sure, he gets stunned, the egg gets killed, it's that distraction. It keeps Tigers there for just a little bit longer. They have the BKB on the Gyro, so he can actually turn, he can try to man-fight this Huskar, and it works successfully again for Na'Vi.
It is.
They claim a gold lead.
It's got to be scary for Tigers. You have this lineup with the Huskar. You do not expect to be even against a Storm Spirit Gyro cores at 23 minutes in. This is Na'Vi. Just, it says less than a 1k advantage. It's more than that in the game, because this Huskar should not be in a game that's level in terms of farm.
No, and look at this. The egg comes out, forces attention to it for a couple seconds, gives more than enough time. Look at all the control that comes out onto Ajit. He just gets stunned all the way to the point where he's down to like 300 HP. Wonder Kid already has to start retreating from the fight. And they overcommit a little bit too hard. And again now, a catch top. As soon as they're splitting up, this Storm Spirit has so much mana to work with now.
Honestly, I really can't just emphasize how well Magical's played this game. Like, in so many situations where you see these sort of games happen, and the Storm, he feeds at least sort of 2 times in the lane against the Huskar before it's like, I can't be here. But Magical, he's done none of that.
Yeah, he moved around great. The bottom lane was, I mean, this performance from by Chuvash and Crystallize in the bottom lane just is allowing them to be able to take these fights, because their big team fight is mostly around like the gyro and the axe inside the beginning of the game, but then they're starting to get more like the blink dagger and the tiny. Yeah. Team fights get easier and easier.
And I think sort of you do look to sort of your side lanes as Tigers and say, should we really have died that much on the bottom lane as this Ogre and Lina? I think, you know, Zephyr and Moon, we've seen some great games with them, as I said at the start. We've seen games where this matchup crushes a lane. They did not this time round. They gave up kill after kill, as now Moon does manage to get himself on top of Seneka, but Seneca's got the egg. He's fine, they'll have to start retreating. Lots of TPs were forced out by Na'Vi. They won't quite be able to catch out Tigers.
Crystallize going the perfect items to this game that, you know, just a little bit of HP in the beginning with the drums. Phase boots, Zephyr gets caught
Magical,
again.
he's starting to get the ball massively rolling with the Bloodstone and with the Kaya. Let's see what they can find here. In the Dream, just find him. He's got, yeah, just goes straight for the zip TP. There's nothing to cancel it.
Just that limited catch. Soon as Lina's dead, there's only an Ogre really for that stun for them to provide. And again, the Blade Mail.
Oh, Blizzy.
The follow-up by Chu.
I mean, it's crumbling. It's really crumbling for Tigers. It just seems weird to see from them, because the Huskar had such a great opening. He had all the farm, but it's as if Tigers, they're not really prepared or know how to actually sort of utilize that powerful Huskar against this lineup from Na'Vi. They're trying to make moves with him, for sure, but at the same time, we've seen sort of 2 times where the Huskar's been on the front. They just don't sort of have that reliable backup. You know, there's not a Huskar. There's not a Dazzle. There's not an Oracle in this game. The best sort of save they have is a Soul Rip. And then in terms of sort of disable and ways to keep Na'Vi off it, there's a Fire Blast and a Light Strike. If those spells aren't used perfectly, Na'Vi are going to be able to fight. And once again, Magical, zip straight in. They're on top of the Huskar. The Spirit Vessel down onto him as well. And with the BKB on Crystallize, he's straight in on top of him. They get the kill onto the Huskar. There's going to be a buyback from RG as he's TPing in to the mid lane. He wants to desperately try and fight back. Blizzy stands his ground, beats down the Tombstone. They've lost the Phoenix, but the taunt, the spins, Blizzy, he'll bring down the Undying with him. Tigers, they have to try and punch back for more with that buyback from Arjit. And your Dream chasing down Crystallize. Crystallize, he's got Magical by his side. Is there anything Magical could do to keep that gyro safe? There is not. So Tigers will be able to at least trade, take core kills with them. But there's a buyback on Arjit. Crystallize, he's got the money. He's just invested in the full MKB. That fight being without that MKB on gyro, next time it's going to be there. And Arjit, he's not going to have a second life next time round.
Yeah, I mean, he desperately needs BKB just for the control that's coming out from Na'Vi.
Magical, just a bit of a poke. Nothing more. And he is a little low on money. He's still got 1 charges. And your Dream recognizes that they are going to go with that buyback straight into Roshan. 10 seconds and Blizzy's back up. With Shu and Magical, can they disrupt this attempt long enough to buy time for the axe to come in? It's pretty low. They could certainly look for a zip steal if they time it right, but they're not going to. Tigers, they'll get themselves the Aegis onto Arjit. Quick blink away from the Tiny.
They have a full Aghanims on the Weaver now. That can actually really turn the tides. Na'Vi has to commit their whole BKB timings to try to kill this Huskar. Yeah. Now if he just gets time-lapse in the fights, can change everything. And this is the big momentum now for Tigers, is they have the Aegis Cheese. That's their big timing they always want to be playing around in this game. Na'Vi, we see though, they have so much overwhelming control inside of the fights. If they're able to actually keep this Huskar locked down, we could definitely see them being able to take these fights.
I mean, as you said, this Aghanims, this is the save that they needed. They had the Sorrow Pill before. Now with the Ags, that can make all the difference. You know, that's sort of your Dazzle or Oracle in the situation that allows Arjit to go in as hard as he wants to.
Absolutely. And it's like, a lot of the thing about Na'Vi is it's all about this flak timing. As soon as the flak is popped, the BKB on the gyro, they have to take the fight. If they don't win that fight in that timing, and Tigers has even this the Weaver and the Huskar alive, it could be problematic for them. And they have Aegis and Cheese to work with here. Blizzy is in position to try to set up for something here.
No, he's gonna cut
the wave.
Okay.
I believe, yeah.
They are already heading back. You sort of saw there from the Lina, Zephyr knew that this play was going to happen, so he already sort of came back to join the creep wave. Blizzy, he's got Blink back up. He's able to create the distance. They didn't get any damage onto him, so Blizzy's able to blink and TP out from the trees, despite Tigers turning and trying to chase him.
Wait, did he miss the stun after the Yules? It looked like, right? I think so. But he gets away. He's going to survive. Now they can set up to get this defense. They're even split pushing bottom on the side of Na'Vi. Magical's trying to cut the wave again. And he actually finds Zephyr while doing
Zephyr,
that.
He does. He comes in from the back and they get the jump in. The Blade Mail there as well. Arjit, can they kill him the once? That time-lapse will keep that Aegis safe for another push.
That was so close. He was in dunk range for a second there, too. Blizzy unable to find that opportunity. Now they know. Ags Weaver is another thing they have to be prepared for.
They do have ways to get into the back.
They do.
Magical could get around there. If they could sort of find, you know, the Tiny or Axe in position for the wraparound, they could do it. And Magical actually going with a big zip. He tried to commit onto the Huskar. Arjit has a homing missile heading his way as well. Magical down to about half mana. Choose coming in as well with the Shadow Blade. Could look to find the positioning to get that jump on the Weaver. They have to find the Weaver if they want to fight. But of course, you can expect to see this every time. Tiger's just keeping the Wonder Kid at the far back of the fight, making it so hard for Na'Vi to get that jump onto the Weaver and make sure those Aghanims time-lapse saves do not come into play.
Like you said, they have a lot of ways to do so. I think the biggest or best one that they can do later on is now when the Storm can go for either Orchid or Hex, so he can just throw like one little slight disable to stop this Weaver from going for those time-lapse, and then they full commit for the Huskar. Absolutely everything has to be thrown on this map.
Because looking at the Weaver, we don't have any sort of defensive lines right now.
For now.
The Diffusal, the Dragon Lance, and the Aghanims. Yeah, he's going to look to get that BKB next, but yeah, at the moment, he is still vulnerable if they can find him.
It's going to be a lot of coordination that Na'Vi has to do, but we've seen them at this tournament have incredible coordination. I've seen them time and time again, their axe calls, their silences, like always being on point. They're going to need it this game. But they're able to stall it a lot, though, right? They're in versus a Huskar lineup. So already 30 minutes in. Gyrocopter's keeping at pace with the Huskar, too.
I mean, the fact that we're seeing that in a game where, you know, it is the Gyro without the Gyro. I don't think there's any other teams, if any, sort of in sort of the top realm of Dota 2 teams at the moment that would just sort of, you know, turn up to a draft, get that ending pick, the Gyrocopter. And just go for it like that, have that sort of faith in it. But Na'Vi did, they had a strat and plan.
The call?
So far it's looking good as mid lane. Blizzy gets the call onto the two, the setups there for the quick kills onto both Zephyr and Moon.
Build up those Bloodstones.
He's up to 20 Bloodstone charges.
Now, they can, like, when they have all these charges, they can constantly look for the split push and the gold lead, too. Look at that, it's 5K. Now they have the BKB on Ajit, but Na'Vi, every time Tiger splits up at all, they have so many ways to hunt them on the side of Na'Vi.
And this becomes, you know, it's an increasingly harder game for Tigers to play, because when you sort of turn up with the draft as they did with that 5th pick Huskar, I doubt as a team you're really thinking about playing from behind, playing from being 6K behind this Gyrocopter and Storm Spirit lineup. You expect to be ahead at all points, and with the way that the game was starting, Tigers, they would have certainly seen that, you know, it's like, hey, this Huskar's getting all the free farm in the world. We're against these cores that can be punished by a very farmed early game Huskar. We're going to be fine. But now at this 31-minute mark, mid-game, coming into late game stage of the game, they've got to come up with a new strategy, because this Huskar is no longer the beast that you sort of hope for him to be when you picked him up 5th pick.
And they're trapped in their base. When they have like their Aegis and their cheese, they're trapped inside of the base because the pressure that Na'Vi's putting out. Now there's a full Orchid, level 20 on Magical, 8, 1, and 6 on this Storm Spirit. Na'Vi.
I don't think they could have sort of played this game any better so far, Na'Vi.
No.
It was not an easy draft to play.
Definitely not.
The panel, they all went with Tigers. I don't blame them. You look at this lineup, the way that Tigers played in game 1 as well, you can certainly consider that if they can sort of run over a team that quickly with an outdraft, why would they not be able to do it again? But the answer this time around is Na'Vi threw something different into the mix. They threw this Gyro pick in. It's something that we do not see ever really on its own, but Crystallize is making it work big time as he's getting those items. Tiger still, though, they do have the ways to force the fights as they're straight down the mid lane. RJ onto the tier 3 tower. At the same time, Magical, he's looking for a bit of split push on the Storm. He's actually taking a tier 3 tower down himself. And now back off, go for the TP back to base. Fire Blast comes out onto the Phoenix, but not enough damage to kill him off. Snake will be fine. Jump forward. They get the call onto the Huskar. The Supernova as well. RJ's gone. He was silenced. He couldn't get the Aghanim's time lapse. In Your Dream could not get the save as Tigers, they've lost 3. Na'Vi, they're not done. They want to make sure they clean up the entire lineup of Tigers. They have lost Blizzy, but this is what I'm saying with the Axe. It doesn't matter if he goes in and dies, because he can set up the rest of his team for glory. 1437 will escape, but again, Na'Vi holding these defenses, and that silence onto the Weaver. Perfect play yet again from Magical, making sure that this big item, the Aghanims, cannot be there to save that Huskar.
Yeah, just perfect coordination coming in again from Na'Vi. Just these simultaneous jumps they're able to cause. Just catching Tigers. Tigers, it seemed like that might have been a little bit of a desperation push, and Na'Vi just completely smashes them all the way up to 13K gold lead now, getting more and more items displayed. And Magical, 23 Bloodstone charges on this Storm Spirit. Look at that mana pool. 61 mana regen. Na'Vi seem to have thwarted this Huskar.
Magical. Silence onto Moon. Quick zip in. There is an Agnim's time. That's from the Weaver, saving Moon once. It's not going to be enough to keep him actually alive for the full duration as they zip in, kill him off. Full set of racks taken by Na'Vi on the top lane, as they are certainly sending the message to Tigers that they're going to have to try something else. The Meepo pick may have sort of phased Na'Vi and got that game 1 win pretty securely for Tigers, but Huskar, as it seems, is not going to cut it. Na'Vi with perfect ways to play around him. And as I sort of keep addressing, this was not a Huskar that struggled at the start. Argiet was sort of comfortably by a few thousand sitting at the top for the first 10-15 minutes of the game. It didn't matter. The way that Na'Vi are pulling together as a team and giving us, without a doubt, the best Dota that we've seen so far from Na'Vi at this LAN.
Yep.
They're making this Huskar lineup just look so weak. It just falls over in every one of these team fights.
Yeah, and they have 21 deaths combined bottom on Tigers in their bottom lane. 21.
He gets broken straight away with the BKB. Crystallize looking to get on top of them. They've lost the Weaver. There's going to be no Agnim's time. That's BKB's out from Argiet. He's going to try his best to fight back as Crystallize is focusing the Tombstone, keeps his distance away from Argiet as the BKB now wears up for the bow for the Magical. Zipping straight back in. Has he got the control? He's being fire blasted, multicasted by Moon, but he's in. The Vortex comes out. Argiet will fall. Double kill for Blizzy again with the call from Blizzy. The triple kill from the Axe. The zombies do kill him, but Tigers, they get team wiped. Na'Vi doing it time and time again in this game 2. As game 1, many people may have been quick to write Na'Vi off in this series, but with a performance like they have shown here in this game, who really is the stronger team out of the two of them?
Just great execution inside of all these fights. Blizzy, time and time again, getting the 2-man calls. We've seen what he's done on his Axe previously in this tournament. He recovered so well in this game after that laning phase. He got the Blink Dagger at a good timing. And like I was mentioning, there's really so much that is coming down to this bottom lane that happened for Tigers, right? Like Na'Vi being able to get so enabled on this Gyro. This Tiny also level 22. There's just so many deaths between this Ogre and the Lean on the side of Tigers that it's given Na'Vi so much to just take over this game.
Yeah, and you look over at Crystallize, it's, you know, he's chilling.
He absolutely is.
11-1 and 18. He has the Butterfly on top of the MKB. He's got 1,400 gold on his way towards the Satanic. This, I mean, Gyro, I mean, as we said, I don't know when the last time we saw sort of a Gyro pick without the IO. I don't remember the last time we saw a Gyro without an IO have as good of a game as Crystallize is having here. Like, this is an insane Gyro performance. There has been no other team in sort of Dota 2 at the top that's been able to pull off something like Crystallize's this game.
Yeah,
in at least a year.
Not recently.
I mean,
yeah. Sure.
Back in the days of the ho-ho-ha-has, the trolls, the snipers, Gyros, sure. You know, this was sort of another day in Dota 2. But nowadays, you do not get to see this at all.
You'd imagine, too, like, you look at the score and you see this Huskar as, like, 3 and 6. You'd imagine he might have had, like, a rough start.
He did not.
Storm, 11-1. He did not. Tigers now, all about this final Roshan as they've lost. I mean, a long time ago, they lost complete control of this game, but now it's desperate moves they need to take. It's just getting harder and harder and harder versus Na'Vi's lineup. Their timing window has disappeared as Weaver's farm is completely stopped too.
And there's the lead. Oh, Blizzy! Straight in the 3-man call! 3 dead on Tigers as Blizzy once again.
A GG. Immediate call.
You gotta tap out after that. You have to tap out after that. Na'Vi, this game 2, as I said in the game, the best showing from them here so far in a single game. This was an incredible performance from them. And against a draft that the panel all said, this Huskar lineup, it's an easy win for Tigers. I think a lot of people at home are watching. Yep. Some of the best captains of Dota 2 teams of the world were probably watching at home and going, my goodness, Na'Vi, they let themselves get Meepo, they let themselves get Huskar game 2. They pick a Gyro without an IO. What is Na'Vi thinking? And I don't know, whatever they're thinking is great, and it's these sort of strats and these sort of ways of approaching the game that are totally sort of different in this day and age. The workout like that, how do you sort of play against this? If Na'Vi can pull out things that you don't expect, you never expect to work as well as it does. Like, that was an insane game too.
It really was. I really wanted to have, like, chances more to look at just what happened in that bottom lane, because they just had, it was like 23 combined deaths between the Lean and the Ogre. Moon Meander never started catching back up to. And this, I mean, this Gyrocopter just got massive, magical,
absolutely beautiful game by the Storm Spirit too, when he's in a very, very hard matchup. Gets the first kill too on the Huskar as well. Yep, Na'Vi doing the impossible.
And after a severe beatdown in Game 1 as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this best-of-5 Grand Finals is just beginning to kick off. It's 1-1 at the moment between Na'Vi and Tigers, and we can certainly expect some more craziness down the line. Don't go anywhere, as we'll pass you to a short ad break. Much more Dota to come here at the CORSAIR DreamLeague Season 10 Grand Finals.